We still got a Santa hat? Alright, let's get comfy. Welcome to my last video of 2021. I feel like this video is way overdue, but I decided to just wrap it up at the end of the year. Before we get started with anything, Happy New Year. I hope y'all are having a great break with your family, and thank you for always supporting me. Those are the couple things that I wanted to get out there. Also, I'm sorry for not posting a lot this year, and this video is going to be a more detailed explanation as to why. I also wanted to say that this video is not targeted towards any of my friends, exes, family, like no one. It's just kind of my life, so don't take any of these things personal if you are in my personal life. With all of that being said, dear 2021. I don't know exactly how this video is going to turn out. Okay, we're going to start out with my 2021 story. I'll put the timestamp right here if you want to skip right to the lessons I learned and what you should take out of your 2021. If you are one of my lovely subscribers and you would like to know what happened in my 2021, keep watching. Alright, we're going to start all the way back in January. This is when I released my first film called Dear Teenage Girls. I have notes right here. If I keep looking at them, I'm sorry. I put so many hours and so much effort into making that film. Hours of editing, hours of filming, friends, family, everyone was involved. And I feel like I really had that concept down of confidence. Teaching other girls that it's okay to be you. I had my whole life together at the beginning of 2021. The first 2 months were absolutely great. I had friends, I had online school, I had freedom. I was literally living my best life. I was confident, I was motivated, I was passionate about YouTube, and my life had structure. Now that all changed in April, when I moved. As y'all know, I have moved many times before. This is our 4th time, I'm pretty sure. Back to Texas, I packed up all of my things. The decision was mine whether we moved or stayed because it was my senior year. And I felt God put it on my heart to move. On my 17th birthday, I said goodbye to my friends. I visited the places where so many YouTube videos were filmed. I said goodbye to so many of my favorite spots. It seemed easy at first. We were told our house would be done in 6 months, November. I was ready to begin this new chapter of my life. I still had motivation. I was doing great. However, I soon realized that that was not the case at all. I am a person who needs structure and organization. I have been that way since I was little. So my sister and I moved into my aunt and uncle's house. Immediately, it just did not feel like my own space. I've uploaded countless videos of me cleaning my room, reorganizing, decluttering, and it just started to just irritate me that I did not have my own space. And yeah, I'm so grateful that I've always had a room and a roof over my head and food and water. But living in multiple people's guest bedrooms for the course of 10 months is not ideal. So May came around, I was in a relationship, long distance, everything was good, I was great. I still just didn't have my space and that was really difficult for me, but I managed to get used to it. I clicked with so many old friends, met some new ones, took senior pictures with my cheer team, had a spring football game with my cheer team. It was great. And then I visited San Diego in June and my boyfriend and I broke up and I kind of readjusted to living in San Diego. I stayed there for a month, I stayed with Maddie, my best friend. I had another guest bedroom that I could live in. I re-clicked with Alex. We became really close again. I just made it so many fun memories on that vacation, did so many things, and it was just really fun. Now, moving the first time was okay because I knew that I would see them all in the summer. Now, once I left San Diego again, I didn't know the next time that I would see my friends, and that kind of took a toll on my mental state. When I flew back to Texas, I missed my friends a lot. I felt super homesick, but the first day that I flew back, I re-clicked with old friends from 4th grade. I've always stayed in touch with my best friend from 4th grade, but a couple people from their friend group and I started just Snapchatting. They asked me to hang out, and soon enough, I started clicking with that group of people. We hung out almost every single day for that last month of summer. I got to know them and love them and care about them. And soon enough, I started dating my 4th grade crush. I started school, I started football games, I started cheer. I was hanging out with my boyfriend every single day, and life just got so much better. I was still living in my aunt and uncle's house from August until September. Olivia is FaceTiming me. Please hold. Okay, sorry about that. Back to the story. I was hanging out with my friend group all of the time, every single weekend. I was hanging out with my boyfriend all the time, and life was just really good. Luke and I went to my homecoming. It was really fun. And then homecoming day, I moved out of my aunt and uncle's house into this one where I'm currently staying. These are family friends, not some random people, I promise. It's my dad's best friend. They've been best friends for 25 years. They raised me, like I grew up with them. So it's not weird that I'm living in their house, just to put that out there. Now I'm completely separated from my family. Didn't really see them often, and I got COVID. 2 days after homecoming, I got COVID, and then I was kind of isolated here. I had been living in this room for 2 days, and then I got COVID. And let me tell you, the sickness was not the worst part. It was being isolated. I'm a person who needs to be surrounded by people, and I could not do that. I saw my parents every day. They came over, made sure I was okay. Other than that, I could not see friends. I didn't go to school for 2 weeks, and my mindset completely changed. I don't know why, like took a 180 turn. I had absolutely no motivation, even worse than it was before. I did not want to film. I did not want to edit. I really did not want to do anything. I hung in there, and October was a great month. We had homecoming again because my friend group goes to a different school, so now it was their homecoming. It was such a fun night. And then the following week, I flew back out to California for Halloween. I saw my friends, clicked with so many old people. It was just like that refreshing moment that I needed. I actually got homesick and missed Texas, missed my friends, missed my boyfriend, and so someone told me you just need to go to California and see your friends and realize that you're not really missing out on that much and you will miss people here. And I was like, you're crazy. Like, no, you're wrong. And she was right. I realized that she was right when I came back, and I was like, I told her, I was like, you're right. Like, I really just needed to see them and I miss them so much, but I'm having fun here too. November was where it went back downhill. I got sick for a couple days. I took an SAT. It was really stressful. Cheer was very overwhelming. We had football, we had volleyball. It was crazy. And I just needed a break, and I finally got that on Thanksgiving break. I wasn't home at all. I went to Arkansas and visited the University of Arkansas with Luke's family and with my dad. And then my dad and I went to OSU, fell in love with it. And then we came back the next day. I went to Houston with Luke's family. We had so much fun. I met so many people, went shopping, and had a great Thanksgiving break. At the end of Thanksgiving break, my boyfriend and I decided to just stay friends. Nothing bad happened. We just became friends. December 1st, Vlogmas came around. I was doing okay for a couple days. And then the videos just got boring. I had no one to hang out with. I had nothing to film, and so I just kind of stopped. Now keep in mind, at the beginning of this video, I told you that our house is supposed to be done in November. It's now almost January, and it's still not done. It's supposed to be done on January 21st. So that is so much longer. Like, that is like a 3-month time difference, okay? January is gonna be a busy month between cheer and packing for what seems like the 100th time this year. December was a month that I spent a lot of time with my family, which was really good. And yeah, that's basically how my 2021 went. So now I'm gonna share with y'all a few things that I learned. The first thing I learned is that God always has a plan. My favorite verse is the summary of my life this year. That's John 13:7. God says, you may not know what I'm doing right now, but later you will. And I reflect back on those moments. There are some specific ones that I might share, and I just realized like that is so right. So I saw God move a lot in my life this year, but I didn't realize it until the end of this year. I've gotten so many questions over the past couple months that I've kind of avoided about my relationship with Jesus. I pushed them aside. And the reason for that is because I kind of took things into my own hands this year. I didn't really trust the process. I didn't really trust God. I didn't really trust his plan. I was like, no, I'm doing this, okay? I'm doing this by myself. That is the first mistake, man. At the beginning of November, I had this kind of like feeling to step back, walk away from friends in my relationship. I prayed about it a lot. The answer was very, very clear. I heard him tell me, but I did not listen. I'm a very stubborn person, and I do things my own way, and it's like one of my biggest struggles. But basically, I pushed away what God was calling me to do, and I said, no, I'm gonna do it on my own time. I kept that thought of like letting those people go in the back of my head, and I knew I needed to for weeks, but I just didn't do it. I didn't know how, I didn't want to, but that was God's plan, and he knew I would not be able to do it myself, so he got them to do it for me, and we became friends, and I'm not as close with my friend group as I used to be, and they've kind of stepped back a little bit, which has allowed me to step back. Let me tell you, if you're not gonna do it yourself, God's gonna find another way. Like, that's his plan. It will happen no matter what. If it's God's plan, you can't stop it. If it's not his plan, you can't force it. And I definitely learned that the past couple weeks. And it's not the people, it's the situation. I just needed to focus on family, and I did not realize that until I started spending time with family and realized that that's what I needed. In 2021, I cried a lot. My best friends, Maddie, Alex, and Keegan, they know that I never really cry. They're the only people who know absolutely everything about me as of right now. Last year, I never really cried. All 3 of them, if you put them in separate rooms and ask them, they would say no, she does not cry. This year, however, I cried a lot, and I wasn't gonna include that in this video because I don't really like to open up about my feelings a lot, but I saw this TikTok the other day, and I'm gonna read to you what it said. God allows us to cry so hard so that we can see clearly when he finally opens our eyes. And honestly, that whole TikTok that I saw was a sum of my 2021, so I'm going to try and insert it right here.
I realize God wakes us up in the midst of a storm to teach us a lesson. He removes people we love so we can learn to value love itself. He allows us to cry so hard so that we can see clearly when we open our eyes. He allows us to be bitter so that we can realize there is no genuine happiness if we think only of our needs and not others. See, 99% of the time, God doesn't give you what you want, and it's because He loves you. He will wreck your plans before they wreck you. So if you're struggling to trust Him, realize He's allowing you to go through these storms to make you more like Him.
Everything that he said in that video is absolutely true. In 2021, I also learned my worth, or I guess relearned my worth. I knew my worth in like January, and then it just kind of was blurry down to December, and now I'm back, okay? I was in 2 relationships, and both ended when they needed to. They were so fun. Like, I would not change those moments with those people, ever. Like, I absolutely love them to death, but they did help me realize my worth. And neither one of those boys is God's person for me. And once you realize that, it just makes life a lot easier. Like, there's always a reason for everything. And like John 13:7 says, you might not know it in the moment, but later when you reflect back on your life, it will be so clear. So in 2022, I'm leaving everything behind. Everything's staying in 2021. The heartbreak, the tears, for the most part. It's okay to cry, just not like every night. Sinful, worldly things I was around, involved in, things I gave into, things I just witnessed that changed me as a person, everything. We're saying goodbye to that, and y'all are gonna see a whole new Gianna in 2022. And you will see a whole lot more of her than you did in 2021. Once my house is done, y'all will see moving vlogs and house tours and everything like that, and just so many more fun videos with me. And I also want to change the trajectory of my channel a little bit, and I love the room tours and the day in my lives and things like that, but I want to focus more on film and like women empowerment. I have a passion for like proving to the young girls that watch my channel that you can be confident and you can be you, and self-love and different things like that. Like, I have so many things in my notes that I'm like ready to film that I said I was going to do last year, but obviously if you just watched this whole video, you know that didn't really work out. Another thing that I do not talk about a lot is my health. I completely lost my appetite early on this year, and then it got worse when I got COVID. I eat 1 meal a day, if that. Like, it's 3:40 right now, and I have not eaten anything today. I don't work out as much as I used to anymore. Things are gonna change. I'm gonna learn how to cook, guys. It's the time has come. And I'm possibly going to this college program through my church that I'm gonna learn a lot more about in the next coming weeks. So if y'all wanna subscribe and stay tuned for an amazing 2022. Trust me, this is such a big year. I turn 18, I graduate, college. It's just a crazy year ahead of us. So if y'all would like to join the journey, subscribe down below and join the Mac Pack. My goal for next year is when I sit down to film this video, the same one, Dear 2022, and recap my whole year, my goal is that I can be able to say that I'm a different person mentally, physically, and spiritually. So future Gianna, you got this. It's a final goodbye to the hardest year of my life. I really learned how strong I am, and I realized that not many people could go through what I went through this year and still be present and happy. I am so proud of myself, and I'm so excited to see what God has in store for my life and for this channel and my impact that I can make on the world through His word, and we'll see in the upcoming months. I hope that this video was effective and that you learned something and that you loved it and it turned out the way you wanted it to. If you're still watching, comment this emoji right here. It's my favorite one at the moment. All right, that's it. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to y'all for sticking around throughout this whole year. Promise you it will get better. If you're going through something hard, subscribe and I'll help you out, girlfriend. I love you so much. Thank you for staying by my side. I know it's been bumpy, but I'll see y'all next year. Peace out, Mac Pack.